saw something coming out of here and plugged into an amp or speaker of some sort. Secondly is because I did not reserve said amp or speaker from Bass Library. But fortunately, this is a pretty small venue, and we're probably not going to need it, and I am rationalizing my own failures. Welcome, anyway, to the Yale Cucumber. Technically, it's just a cucumber. Yale doesn't really like it when we put Yale in like print or letters. They're not happy about it. But it's the Cucumber, Yale's original stand-up comedy outlet, brought to you by the Yale Record magazine. There are several people here from that. And we're going to be handing out copies of that at the end of the show so people can look through our most recent issue, the game issue. But this is the first show of the year, so I figure I can give a little bit of what the Cucumber does. We like bring you Yale performers of stand-up. We like to get a lot of newcomers too, always free of charge. Although this year we realized that parents will actually pay for things like this. So we will see y'all next year about that. But for now, it is free of charge. We've got a great show tonight. We've got 8 or 9 performers. I think over half of them are actually rookies, people who have never done it before. But in case they're awful, we have a few people who have actually are veterans. So at least some of the show will be fantastic. Speaking of shows that will almost certainly be okay, Last Comic Standard next week. That's our competition. For the people that don't know, that's our stand-up competition. Everything we have every year. People perform. And we vote on a couple people to present a famous comedian at what we call the fall show later in the semester. And I auditioned for the first time this year, and I did not get in. Thank you. I just did a few hours ago. It's cool. I was not terribly surprised to do it. I would have had to be probably a couple dozen very, very funny people. And why should I do it even though I'm the president of the stand-up group again? It's really not fun. But it's really just a toy. It doesn't. But one good thing about not getting into Last Comic Standing is I don't have to worry about. Yeah, this guy's the president of YCC. He's in charge of Last Comic Standing.
I didn't actually. I was not there.
Anyway, one good thing is that I get to perform maybe 1 or 2 jokes from my set that no one else would get to hear otherwise. So one of the things it's going to be great, guys. This is a joke that was not good enough. 7 or 8 wonderful people, but I'm sure you guys will like it. I talked about Saybrook, which is the best resident of college, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay. It is awesome, but that's not what I talked about in my set. It was actually there's one thing that every Saybroosian at least admits is pretty awful about Saybrook. It is not the dining hall.
No!
So fuck everybody. It is not the dining hall. It is the basement. Our terrible basement, specifically the walls, which look like they have leprosy. But the point is they're very, very hideous. In our Saybrook College Council meetings, we like to talk about some kind of beautification effort to make these things not look so awful. And I wish I would really be delighted to head up something like that, because I have ideas. And the big issue is money, right? So I thought we could have some kind of fundraising thing, and it would be big. Not like a local thing, not like a college thing, but like a national, we call it the Wall Fund, okay? And we have a commercial, and it would be like Sarah McLachlan singing over pictures of walls. And it'd be people tearing down the Berlin Wall, the Great Wall of China, just because, the fences in between U.S. and Mexico. And then in between all this, it's just real quick clips of just Saybrook's walls. And then we need some kind of mascot, I guess, that would somebody who hates walls and is always tearing them down. Does anybody at all know where I'm going with this?
Kool-Aid Man.
Kool-Aid Man, yes, the Kool-Aid Man. Mascot of the Wall Fund. And it'd be great. You'd superimpose him in all these clips of like tearing down all these like famous walls. There are a lot more than you think there are. And then like at the end of the commercial, he'd like walk up and he'd be like, "Help us in this fight against walls." And he'd like rip down some like brick wall next to him, and then he'd like look back at the camera and there'd be a big close up, and he'd say, "Oh yeah." All right, guys. Again, welcome to the Cucumber. And where are you?
I'm here.
Ifani.
Yeah,
So how you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Yeah, you guys come to the Cucumber a lot?
yeah.
Really? I mean, this is my first time, so I figure I should introduce myself. My name is Ifani Chukwu Onyefoloamachi. Yes, really. Yeah. Alright, I'm sorry I put you guys through that. Usually, before I introduce myself, I like issue a warning. I'm like, watch out! There's something long and African coming your way! And it's not your boyfriend. But you guys look like a tough crowd, so I figured you could handle it. You guys have no idea what it's like to have just a scary African name. Like, I had to go most of my life. I had to go by a nickname for most of my life because I just could not handle like the full horror of my name, you know. And my nickname is cool, but it's also kind of problematic. My nickname is it's Iffy. Yes, I did spend most of my life introducing myself by saying, "Hi, I'm Iffy." And like, it's difficult. Like, some people don't get it. I went to a wedding one time and I introduced myself to the bride and I was like, "I'm Iffy," and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not so sure about this either." But I mean, it's cool. Like, I like my nickname. Actually, guys, my nickname is magic, okay? Because you know why? Because my nickname can turn anyone who hears it into a stand-up comedian. Every time I say I'm Iffy, everybody's got jokes. Everybody is like, "Oh, is that because your parents were iffy about having you?" Or they're like, "Oh, your name is Iffy. I'm kinda iffy about that." Or like we'll be in section and my English professor will be like, "I find that interpretation somewhat iffy," and everybody just turns around and smiles. So anyway, when I came to Yale, I made the decision to start going by my full name. I mean, like half my full name, you know, baby steps, right? So I go by Ifani now, right? And it was honestly the best decision I ever made because, you know, like, it's Yale. And where everybody loves fucking diversity and whatnot, you know? So everybody makes their A+ best effort to say my ethnic name correctly. So people will say different things. People will say Ifani, which is, you know, wrong, but it's tolerable, I guess. It's better than those guys who say, like, they somehow get the last syllable wrong, so they'll say Ifanya, which, you know, sounds like LaFonda. It's like, I mean, what do you think my middle name is, Shanae? Oh, here's my favorite, and this happens all the time. Like, people will mispronounce my name and then compliment me on it. They'll be like, "Oh, Ifeanyi, that is such a beautiful name." And I'll be like, "No, the fuck it isn't." Like, what exactly do you think my parents were tripping on when they named me that? And eventually, even the most cultured people here at Yale, like, they eventually figure out that I have a nickname, and when they do, they're like, "Oh my gosh, can I call you that? Please? Can I please call you that instead of this African bullshit?" But that's enough about my name. I mean, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about, forget it. Let's just keep talking about me. Because, you know, the only reason I'm doing this is so that I can talk about myself, you know? I mean, normally I'm what you call a good listener, which everybody knows is just an excuse for people to bitch at you about all their problems. Like one time, recently actually, I was talking to my roommate about a breakup that I had, right? And she was very supportive. She was like, "Ifani, like, he was just crazy to break up with you because you are so smart and you are just so pretty, and you know the thing I love about you, girl? You are just a great listener. You're such a good listener. Actually, I just remembered something I needed to talk to you about." So, like, I was in class the other day, right? And, like, the guy was there, okay? And so I looked at him, but then he looked back at me and, like, I smiled at him and he, like, smiled back at me, and now I'm just, so like, what do you think, like Facebook? So it's fine, I guess. So anyway, earlier this week, when my friend Jamie, who you guys are going to be hearing from later in the set, asked me if I wanted to go to the Cucumber with her, she was like, I signed up, do it. I was like, yeah, never done stand-up before, but like, hell yes, let me tell a room full of people about me for 10 minutes. Let's do that. So let's see, what else about me? I really like to dance. Anybody out there like to dance? Anybody? Really like to dance? Let's see you. Don't try that. So I like to dance. I think my #1 priority when I go out is just to dance. Like, if I get to break it down, I have a good night. It's as simple as that, right? But there's this one thing that happens whenever I go out with like my white friends, you know, like it's really, you know, it always starts out great. You know, we walk into the spot, I'm having a good time, I'm like breaking out my like obviously killer moves, right? And like my white friends will be over there doing their thing, they'll be like, you know, and like, I'll be over here like doing my thing, like, And so I'm dancing, I'm having a good time, and then, you know, at some point in the night, this always happens, like I look around, and I realize that all the white girls have started to copy me. I don't understand it, you know, they're just like, and you know, at first I thought it was really cute. I actually thought it was flattering, you know. And I always try to encourage them. I'm like, oh, okay, try it. Oh, that's cute. Girl, yeah. Get it, girl. And at first I thought it was flattering. I was like, oh, where's the life of the party? Oh yeah, it's right for. But these days I'm just like, if you wanted me to teach you how to duck, you should have paid some fucking tuition. Pop quiz, how do you say my name? Rar, how do you say my name? Nope. Okay, you guys are just one less out. Alright, you know what? Were you asleep during the first 3 minutes of my set? Like, is this how you guys do it at the Cucumber? I mean, I don't even understand that. You know what? I'm done. I'm gonna go find somewhere to dance. Y'all have a good night.
Clearly the fake mic is not good enough. I am looking for the set list right now. I'm pretty sure the next one, yes, Andrew Goldstein.
Well, we got some seats down here, so don't make strangers out there. Come on. We need 4. Let's do it. All right. I'm not starting. First of all, while we're getting waiting for people to filter in, Ben, Lisa, did you get the waiver signed? Oh, you didn't get the waiver? Ben, can you fill her in on that? Parents in the crowd tonight, you gotta get them all signed up for the waiver. Did you fill them in? Okay, all right. Parents Weekend Show, special deals. All right, how's everyone doing tonight? Good? Give it up to Iffy, huh? Where'd she go? Good, I'm glad everyone's doing well. I'm actually doing pretty shitty right now. Not gonna lie. I know. I got roped into running a half marathon today. So thank you. So I'm pretty sore right now, like really sore. Like so sore as in I couldn't even get a blowjob sitting down right now. I mean, it's that bad, all right? So, anyways, any of you ever run a road race before? No? So, let me tell you something about a road race. The weirdest shit happens. You'll just be kind of just walking around, like mile 2, for example, okay? There's this group of guys on the side who are just catcalling women. They're like, oh, nice asses, ladies. Damn, bro, what you doing later? It's like, hell, man, it's 8:15 in the morning. Jeez. So on mile 3, okay, there was this distinct weed smell. It's like, for an entire block. It's like, what is going on? You know? Mile 5, one of my personal favorites, there was a garage sale on the side. It's like, come on over, get your stuff. It's like, did you get the fucking memo? It's a race, man. there's this guy who walks out of his house, okay? And he's wearing nothing but boxers and a white tee. He's brushing his teeth, you know. And he has this look on his face like, what the fuck is going on? I'm so hungover right now. I couldn't imagine this. So the truth of the matter is, I was going to run the half marathon in New Haven, 20K, a couple weeks ago. But I decided against it because I could have been mugged by any number of teenage girls. You know, or punched in the face. I think would be a more appropriate term given recent events. You know, let's give it up for New Haven though. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, come on now. Where is he? Where is he? He was going to be here today. Huh? Oh, he told me he was going to be here. Talk to him later. So did you hear, I don't know if you heard this, but New Haven was ranked the 45th brainiest city in America. Okay?
Yeah.
Woo! So, and that was computed based on average education level. Okay, so if you're me or anyone in here, you're thinking, is the average really the essence of New Haven? We've got a shit ton of PhDs walking around here who know nothing about nothing. Okay? And then you've got 44% of New Haven, this is true, that do not have a college degree. Alright? So using the average, that's like saying that 50% of married people want to try anal sex. And we all know it's like 0% of women and 100% of men. Speaking of anal sex, how's Deep doing these days? Was that too soon? That's too soon, right?
No.
Too soon?
No.
It's been 3 years now. What's the rules on too soon? You know? But seriously, about Deke, when is this old Deke going to transition into a mythical new Deke? You know, a place of acceptance and diversity and quality football. You know? I just don't know. I just don't know anymore. And I think that we need to demand some sanctions, minor sanctions, just a couple minor things that are doable by the year 2020. All right, so I know you want the president, whatever the hell. So first, I think that we should demand by year 2020 that Deke admits 1, maybe 2 Indian guys. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Maybe by the year 2020, to appease the hipsters among us, that they transition 20% of their beer purchases from Natty Light to PBR. Thoughts? Maybe, and this is a two-pronged sanction here, either they get a football victory over Harvard by 2020, or they lose a game to Harvard by more than 100 points. They got close last year. Too soon. Well played. So, of course, it's going to be hard to beat Harvard this year, to be honest with you guys. It's like, I mean, I hate to bring the mood down, it's going to be real tough. It's not because, you know, the team's really struggling, or because they don't really have a quarterback. That, I know the quarterback, he's a great guy, but they're struggling, all right? It's not because they don't have, they have a new coach, or their captain dropped some dude in a bar fight back in May, okay? None of these things matter, because when it comes right down to it, the Harvard football team is made up of Harvard students. And if there is anything we have learned in the last year about Harvard students, it's that they'll probably just copy exactly what they did last year. So, speaking of torture, does anyone think that it's odd that Yale Students for Christ has to send 3 members to the anti-hazing committee every year? That's kind of weird, you know? I mean, I know they do that thing where they have their pledges like dunk the heads in the water. I know they do that, all right? That might sound like waterboarding. I mean, I get it. But really, Gary Miller, where's your jurisdiction on that shit? You know? That party's been registered for 2,000 years. So, finally, has anyone heard of that SIGEP has a new dog? Anyone heard about that? Yeah. It's good, little animal rights on campus. New dog Jackson, and I think it just brings, a very sobering question for all of us in the community, which is if Jackson happens to take a piss on the floor, how would anyone know? Anyways, thank you very much, guys.
Our next performer of the night is a veteran of stand-up comedy at Yale since his freshman year. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Cody Wilkins.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's everyone doing tonight? Good. Like I said, I have kind of done this before, but I'm gonna do something I've never done before, because I'm getting ready for some other stuff, and you guys don't want to. I mean, you're a great audience so far. I want to know if you. I mean, you know what's funny, so like I'll ask you, and then just respond. I'm just gonna keep nervous. So like, I got topics. What y'all want to hear? I got race. I got sex, I got life, and I got Yale. Any preferences? I'll take a preference.
Sex. Like.
Sex, all right, sex. I like when your head's that, girl. Sex, here we go. You know that awkward moment when you finish having sex with someone around 2 a.m. and then you're like, so where are you off to now? Another for sex? Sex? Sexting via telegraph would be so confusing. More. Stop. Don't stop. Stop. Fuck it, we'll have 3 for sex, right? For some charm. Apparently, I'm a very abusive drunk. My girlfriend told me that sometimes I go out and I get really hammered and then I come home and just beat the shit out of my dick. And she said my elbow movement keeps her up. So, yeah, not just so much. Okay, you know what, we'll save race for later. I'll go life. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Flesh-colored Band-Aids. Guess I'll just use electric tape. My mother used to say to me and my siblings, she used to say, guys, I know you're working hard. I want, like, about school. I know you're working hard. I know you're getting good grades, but like, you gotta see it to believe it. Yeah, you gotta see it to believe it. My blind brother Freddie just didn't believe shit around the house. Nah, man, that one didn't work.
You told it wrong.
Yeah, I did. You're right. It's not so much a joke. At some elementary schools, people celebrate the graduation of kindergarten.
Yeah.
And the speeches go something like this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. They teach us to read next year. Thank you. Good night. Yale? Yale? We'll go Yale? All right, maybe she's here. I wrote this letter to a girl who goes here today. I really hope she's here. Dear ambiguously raced girl who ran away from me in the street last night. It was 8:30, and you dropped your pen. I'm keeping it because I didn't want to run after you and justify your unjustly racist cause. Sincerely, the black guy wearing the Yale sweater. What is that? Oh, that's what I just said. Quick joke for you, ready? President Levin? How about President Leaving? My white friend Ben, he likes to ask people for favors. And the way he does it, say Ben's sitting down and Ben needs something, like that camera. Ben will go, camera. Do it. If Ben needs a napkin, Ben will go, napkin, do it. And it used to make me really nervous, but then I realized Ben, just like most other white people, has this like hidden complex where he thinks he's the police. Just a be gooder. Yeah, it's damn near all of it, but I got a little bit more. Oh, this one's awkward for me, mostly when it happens. As you guys know, the gendered sort of sexual tension level here is just like overflowing. It's at an all-time high. And it's gotten so high that I'm getting nervous talking to women. I'm getting very nervous talking to women, especially in my women, food, and culture section. I sort of feel like that one white guy who takes a history of African slaves and doesn't know whether to say like, well, the main character was he's African or black women. It's getting tough. Like I don't know now when I speak in this class whether to say ladies or whether to say women or whether to just say like those who sit when they pee. I just don't know what to do. But oh, you laughed at that. Okay. Yeah, I think low-key I got one more, and then we could call it a day, but y'all have been awesome. Help the motherfucker out. My show tomorrow is gonna be off the chain. We use all the same jokes. Okay, so if you ever been broke, you're gonna like this last one. I spent my summer in New York working as an unpaid intern, which is like suicide. Like, how are you gonna live in New York and just not be paid? And I lived in this really shitty apartment. On the first floor, my bedroom was about like, from here, just this area right here. And right outside my window was this infestation of rats. They're like big ass football sized rats. You just walk around. And when I first moved in, I was really scared of the rats. Like, oh shit, they're gonna break in my room, they're gonna eat my face, I'm gonna But like after a couple weeks of being broke, I realized like that me and the rats aren't that different. Like they live in a little tiny ass spot that may as well be on the ground too, you know what I'm saying? They're probably eating better than me. It got to the point where when I saw the rats, instead of jumping in fear like, ah! I would just like walk around and be getting undressed, look out the window, see a rat, just be like, what's up man, we out here. Alright guys, thanks, that's my time.
To her in the first set of the night, ladies and gentlemen, a good friend of mine, JB Sun Woo.
Yeah, JB.
Yes, I already hear some comments. I'm extremely sorry for my attire tonight. I have to go to work right after this. I work for this well-established, like local New Haven business. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Toad's Place. But yeah, I'm a Toad's dancer. I know what everyone's thinking in here. Oh, fucking skank, you know? But my problem in my life actually is that everyone who knows I'm a Toad's dancer thinks I'm a skank, and the people that employed me at Toad's, they don't think I'm skank enough. I recently got a message from the head dancer there. She basically said, you know, about your clothing, really girl, less is more. Less is more, less is more. The last time I heard less is more is for a Charmin Ultra toilet paper ad, okay? And also like, what, less clothing is more sexy? Bullshit. Okay, you know, more clothing is more sexy. This goes all the way back to ancient Greece, all right? You see those marble busts of women and they have this little, you know, little cloth right there, just about to fall off, and you're like, oh, please fall off, you know? That's the enticing part. You gotta use your imagination, you know? It's like, if this is all out there, it'd be like, it's a triangular marble thing right there, you know? It wouldn't be that exciting. And, you know, I just think, yeah, like, people in the Muslim world, they're just doing it all wrong. Like, okay, like, all these husbands are like covering up their wives in burqas. You know, the burqa is like, it's the sexiest thing a woman can wear, because you have to imagine everything. It's like Angelina Jolie could be hiding inside that burqa, and all the guys, they're like, oh yeah, it's Angelina. No idea. You know, and you know, plus like, I don't know why Okay? And look, ready? Ready for this? All of this, all of my back right here, okay? And the back is the new cleavage. Think about it. I've seen my mom's cleavage. You've seen your mom's cleavage, probably. You've seen some random professor's cleavage, but have you seen your professor's back? I don't think so. I just don't think so. And you know what? Boys like, or women, whatever, they like, places you can't really see. So once you see it, it's like, oh, what's that? So, yeah, and this really reminds me, I have a friend who has subscribed to, a male version of Cosmo, and the article said 10 places women love to be touched. And so, I'll name them now. It's the face. Keep notes, guys. The face, the back, the arms, the legs, the feet, the neck, the ears, the chest, the stomach, and the back of the knee, right here. Why? Because no one touches you there. You can't just be like, oh, hey, pretty mama, I'm just gonna casually, touch your shoulder. You can do that. Maybe that creepy professor is gonna, touch your lower back as you walk by or something. But if you touch the back of some girl's knee, there could be, sexual harassment. And you know why? You have no excuse. It's like, why'd you touch the back of my knee? Oh, it was just, it was in the way. No. By the time you touch the back of a girl's knee, you're in bed with her. It's like a new G-spot, Sometimes I'm alone in my bed at night and I want to change things up. I'm like, why? So yeah, tips. Guys, if you ever want to hit on a girl, touch the back of her knee, okay? And guys need tips because girls, you all know this. Boys are fucking dumb. And, I'm sure there are the guys in this room right now, they're like, I took repro bio, and I know everything about women. Okay, my boyfriend, all right, he took repro bio, and he came back saying, oh, did you know that the menstrual cycle is 28 days? I'm like, bitch, I live that. Boys are dumb, and they're even worse in high school, okay? Like right now they're hopeless, but in high school it's you gotta slow things down. And I just remember I had a good friend who came up to me and was like, oh, did you know that the middle finger on a girl is the depth of her vagina? And I'm like, where am I gonna find a guy this small? But boys are vulnerable, they're just helpless, you can't. So you gotta take advantage, right? And I just remember this one time I hated this guy. He was in my geometry class, and he was just, I would always hear him behind me just kind of talking about, because he had this Asian thing. I'm not being mean, okay? I'm not saying every guy who dates an Asian girl has an Asian thing, but this guy would say oh, these Asian girls are so tight, and I was sick of it, right? I was just sick of it. So I said, hey, Ms. Kawasaki, sometimes you realize she's wet around here? And he's like, yo, that's crazy. Yo, I think I've seen that before. I'm like, yeah, you know why? He's like, what? And I'm like, because Asian girls actually, there's this hereditary thing, and it's kind of like the widow's peak. It's dying out, but every time a girl has a period, 5% of the population, they lactate. And he's like, yo, that's crazy. And he just starts telling everyone. And now people think he's racist. So yeah, or in movies, you see someone, they're bored during a conversation, and they're like, I'm breaking up, gotta go. They hang up. So one time, I was talking to a high school boyfriend, okay, and your conversation was so long and boring. And then boys in high school, they don't know what to talk about. They're like, I think you're pretty. I want to go to sleep. It's been freaking 3 hours. So I basically was I was messing around with him, and I was like, and he goes, what's that? And I'm like, it's my pump. He's like, what pump? I'm like, I got my period. Well, what do you mean? Well, it's for overnight to collect the blood. It's kind of like a breast pump, So you don't have a tampon or I end a conversation. But but I know, like, all of you, you're staring now and you're looking at my outfit and you're like, she's a tones dancer. I just want to see her dance.
Yeah.
Right? Do you guys want to see me dance? You guys haven't seen me twerk this. You want to see me twerk around. I know you boys. You guys want to do. I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I want to
Dance, Jenny.
Yeah. Okay. You can go to Toads at 11 p.m.
Our next performer for the night, guys, is Adam Adler.
I wrote down my jokes, I wouldn't forget them. And let's see what we got here. Back of the knee, arm. Oh shit, no, wrong side. Actually, I like how she was talking about cell phones and static and things happening to stop you from understanding what's going on the other side. I actually just got out of a relationship, and actually the way it happened was very similar. I was talking to my girlfriend on the phone, she's actually from California, and I was saying, hey, how's it going? How's your day? And then all of a sudden she starts going, I can't hear you. We're breaking up. It's over. And then I never heard from her again. So like, maybe like there's no signal over there or something ever. I don't know. Even so, I love phones. I love the new iPhone. I don't know, anybody have the new iPhone 5 here? Any fans of the iPhone 5 in the room? Well, I guess not. But you guys are missing out because the iPhone 5 came standard with this new app. It was actually Steve Jobs' last idea before he died. And it's supposed to change everything about the way we live our lives. So the way it works is you take out your phone and you turn on the camera. And then when you look through the phone camera, you can see everything that's going on around you in the world. Yeah, the app is called Living Your Life. Don't get me wrong, I love new technology. I think it's made our lives easier in so many ways. In fact, I think the favorite way of mine that's made things easier is this disclaimer that's attached to the bottom of these messages, I-spelling. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but basically I get these text messages and emails all the time. Please excuse any typos or errors in this message that was sent from a mobile device. Like, wait a second, that's okay? You can just like mess up and like write a little message down on the bottom so then nobody minds? So I started doing that in other aspects of my life. I had a paper that was due, and I thought it would be a good idea to wait until right before it was due to start writing. So I wrote my paper, and then at the bottom I said, please excuse any inadvertent plagiarism or factual errors in this paper. It was written at 4 a.m. Or for the ladies out there, please excuse my sexual advances last night. I was probably drunk. Or, please excuse any stray racial slurs or epithets. I was born and raised in the South. Really, like these disclaimers, they go beyond us. Like, I heard that a politician recently used one. Please excuse my 6-month-long extramarital affair behind the back of my cancer-stricken wife. I'm a politician. Actually, I love how sometimes people say the opposite of what they mean. So I was talking to my friend the other day, and he said, I did the best thing this weekend. I went on a run for cancer. I said, why did you go on a run for cancer? Cancer sucks. No, I'm new in town. I just started school here, and I was asking people around, I said, is it safe? I hear that there are all these problems with crime. And people would tell me, they would say, well, actually, New Haven is a great city. It's perfectly safe. But it is still a city. So if you walk around late at night, you are going to get mobbed. That's like saying, oh yeah, my friend Jim, he's a great guy. He's kind of an asshole. Or, yeah, that girl, she was totally hot. I just couldn't stand looking at her. No, I actually had a lot of time over the summer before I came out to New Haven. And I spent a lot of time with my mom. And we watched TV together. And my mom was perfect. She's like the best Jewish mom. And she watched TV, but she would do this annoying thing where she would just start yelling at the characters on the TV as though they could hear her. So we were watching Breaking Bad, and there's a guy who's about to go into the room, he's got the gun, and my mom starts yelling at him, but she doesn't say, no, don't go in there, he's got a gun, or you're gonna die. No, and instead she just starts yelling at the TV saying, you're a bum, get your life together. You have mind for your career? You're such a slob. This isn't a long-term plan for your future. I love my mom. She made me right, taught me how to eat properly. As many of you probably know, there's a huge obesity problem in America. And I was thinking about it, I was like, why do we have so many fat people here? What's going on? And I started looking through some books, a childhood favorite of mine, The Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. It's very It's like, this is the problem. This is what we're teaching our kids. You can eat, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the story, but basically it starts with this tiny caterpillar who just starts eating it, apples, plums, pears, I don't know what he wants, and then he gets fat. He gets fat, and then he gets sick, and he keeps getting fat, but at the end it's okay, because he just doesn't eat for like 3 months. This is the problem, people. We have a very hungry caterpillar instead of the caterpillar who only ate just as much as he needed. I think instead of hungry, hungry hippo, we should have hungry, hungry heart attack. Anyway, you guys have been great. I'm Adam Apple. Make sure you're
Our next performer, someone who's also done it several times before, kind of a veteran of the cucumber, Jacob Evelyn.
Thanks for moving that chair. Thought I'd have to dance. Hey guys, so I'm not a frequent Scooby-Doo watcher, but I know my way around the Mystery Machine. And I just think it's so great how every episode they're being chased by like a ghoul, it's floating through walls, it's making things disappear, and then at the end of the episode, they discover it was all just a sheet and an elaborate pulley system. And who is behind it all? Old Man Jenkins, the 9-year-old blind man. Well played, Mr. Jenkins. I guess that's the value of an engineering school education. But I think Shaggy actually has a pretty good deal because he has a dog that speaks English. That's a huge hurdle gone past because, people don't like barking dogs. It's annoying. They train their dogs not to bark, which is equivalent to saying, hey child, never speak. But, I wouldn't want to be Shaggy. I wouldn't want to be a mystery solver.